For years, I've wanted to push the boundaries, to build something that people didn't think could be done. A place where you walk in and just think, wow, this is incredible. My next project's going to be a short-term rental, and I need to build it in a place where tourists are frequently going. So what I wanted to build was the easy part. Where was the hardest? I thought about this for the last few years. There's a place I visited as a kid that's off the beaten path. It's a small town with a population of less than 5,000. Yet it's surrounded by wildlife with trees everywhere. At the beginning of the year, I started the hunt for what will eventually be my next project. And after months of searching, we finally found it. Welcome to Oakhurst, California.
I've had this dream of developing a property and building out whatever I want, making a compound essentially. And it's taken me a long time to get here. In today's episode, I've got my girls with me. We're gonna go check out a couple different properties. I'm gonna show you guys 4 different ones that we looked at. The pros, the cons, the good, the bad, everything in between. And the end of this video, you're gonna get to see the property we closed on. I'll talk you guys through my building plans, everything that's gonna happen, and tee you guys up for the next series. When I say that this next series is gonna be absolutely insane, I mean it. Let's get into it.
Now let's check out property number 1. This one is nearly 2 acres, currently listed at $60,000.
But man, the view out there is incredible. This thing is prepped and ready for a build, already approved for a home site. Doesn't mean a whole lot. Plans available, water and power at the site already, which is a huge perk. They've got a nice little building pad down here. Let's go down there and check it out. We got a steep hill to go down, hun. And you got it. Whew. Dad about fell.
This lot is big. 2 acres is a ton of space, but it's pretty limited on where a building can go. Being a narrow lot and deeper, I'm going to have to use the building pad that they have cut in already if I wanted to develop this property. It also limits my positioning on the home itself. Even though this lot is fairly large, it's close to neighboring houses on both sides. You would want to point this thing away from the street, out towards the mountain range. The views are great though, and the road here is very well taken care of. The downside to this lot is we're currently in an HOA housing development, with CC&Rs that limit what I can build. My wife and I stayed at an Airbnb in this same area not too long ago, and it was great though, so this might not be as big of a problem as it seems. I think the HOA in this area is less about control over your house and choices, and more about upkeep and making sure the area looks nice. I could be wrong though. It's definitely something I would need to look into heavily. In short, great views from this property, limited building site potential, utilities are at the property ready to go, which is a huge help, and the price is great. Nearly 2 acres for $60,000, ready to rock. But that HOA and CC&Rs might work against us. I also worry because there is a ton of listings, not only for houses, but for lots in this area. Seems like a lot of people want to sell, and that scares me. Now there is a community pool that's open most of the year, and also a couple lakes scattered throughout the place that really complement the area. Make it look nice. I don't know exactly what they're used for. Doesn't look like you can take a boat on them, but it's pretty cool. Let's head out and check out property number 2. And as we go, you guys can comment down below and let me know what you would think about each one of these places. This lot is just down the road, with no HOA, no CC&Rs, but a bit smaller of a lot. It's around an acre that we're working with here. The asking price on this is $125,000, and rightfully so. This place is beautiful. Right now we're walking down the driveway. You go alongside another property to access this lot. This is where Aubrey's walking right now. It opens up to a beautiful building pad, flat as can be and ready to go. But this place is tucked into these trees. I do see potential though. Now there's a few different ways I think that the property could be configured to make it work. All of them, the driveway comes on through. You have parking as soon as you get in, but the house could be positioned a few different ways.
Look at my shoes. Ow! Ow.
I feel like if we were to build a house here, it would have to be positioned long ways throughout here in order to get a decent width on a building. This one has access to water, I believe, up at the street there, and the septic system is already installed. So this one would be a matter of getting power to it. But this lot only goes from over here to about here, and then the rest is just a driveway. So I'm pretty limited in a house going smack dab right here. Cool part is you have this private pond, but if it's just a seasonal thing, it doesn't mean all that much to me. Look at that, they've got a small boat over there. Pretty unique property though, really, really cool. The only reason I'd ever want a pond on property is so that I could have a bit of bass fishing to do if I'm bored. And seeing as this is seasonal, I don't think there's anything in here, aside from some ducks.
While we don't have HOA, we don't have CC&R restrictions, this lot was a little bit harder to get to. It was a pretty windy road out here, and I worry that if this were an Airbnb property, it might be a little hard for people to find. But it's got insanely good views. It's already got a septic system. A private pond is huge. Perfectly flat building site to start on. The cost of this property is also a little bit higher than my price range, but it's still an option. This little pond out here is also seasonal, and I think that anytime there was water in it, mosquitoes would be out like crazy every night. The kids aren't going to like that. So maybe the pond is a downside. Let's head out to property number 3 and see what we got going there. Now we're on to the third lot. This one's bigger, but it has limitations on where I can build as well due to how much coverage we've got here with trees, rocks, and more. There's no HOA or CC&R restrictions here, so I can do whatever I want as long as the county allows it. The girls and I had to hike along the right side of the property through some rocks to get underneath some trees to even access the back. Once we were back there though, the views were pretty good. My concern here is where a house would go. I think I'm fairly limited here as well. With this lot being a bit of a hill, we're stuck either on top of the hill, on the back side of the property where we walked, or in the small area up front, but the neighboring house is so close and the views aren't great. It's not fair to your sister.
She was pulling pants and she didn't want to. Quad joker here, better.
Quad would make it a lot better.
Yeah. Don't get so
Kind of a squeeze.
Ow! Ooh. Get like.
You're good.
Ow. I have the legs, you have big legs.
You guys are hiking.
Imagine here's water. Thanks. Who share that with me? No.
You guys can share. Now up on top of here seems to me like the best place for a home site. If you had the driveway come up to the left-hand side, you could face the building south, giving you incredible views of the mountain range. While we were up on top of the hill, we were able to hear water running. A few hundred feet away there's a creek that I found with the drone that runs, I'm pretty sure, year-round, which would be pretty cool to hear at night. But after a bit of hiking, that's it for this lot.
You look like a tomato.
Dad. That's not mine.
So let's recap. We've got a large lot, a good amount of space. We have no HOA or CC&R restrictions, which is great. It's got a killer view towards the mountain range out back. This one's also close to a main highway, easy to access for any guests. And the price is great. $50,000 for 3 acres, even though only about 1.5 acres is usable, is still a great deal. But it lacks usability due to the granite formations. It's not just a hill I'm fighting, it's the rocks as well. This leaves me with limited building sites. There's also no utilities here, which could easily run me a bill of around $70,000. And then we have the potential engineering nightmare due to these granite formations ending up in my foundation somehow, some way. And not to mention I would need to spend about a week cleaning this place out if I did decide to go this route. But let's head out, check out property number 4. It's down the road a ways, but still very close to everything here. I think you guys are gonna like this one. It's got a creek not just next to the property, but on it.
When buying an empty lot like this, if you end up in an area where there's no houses built whatsoever, you are responsible for getting power out there, water, sewer, whatever it may be. This lot stood out for multiple reasons, and here's why. This lot is over 1 acre, which is nice. That's a good bit of space, especially for an Airbnb property like this. You don't need 15 acres to have a desirable Airbnb location. And this honestly looks great. You have a seasonal creek through the back, which I think is pretty unique. There's been a few properties that have these seasonal creeks and some of them rip. $67,000, just over 1 acre. you have a community water tie. So they have wells that pump up to a storage system up here. Those feed this whole community. So I have water that I could tie into instantly, which, as we talked about on the other property, that's a $30,000 to $50,000 charge for me. So this would be instant water. Power's right out here. I would just tie in overhead. There's a community sewer system all the way through here. So I would tap into that and I'd be good to go. It really doesn't get much easier. So each and every one of my utilities that I would need to build out here is accessible, and there's no HOA, no CC&Rs. So no monthly fees, and there's nothing dictating what I can build. Can you guys see any water?
No. It's like all
We
those.
went at the very edge and there's nothing.
The very edge where we smell cucumbers.
Sister, don't go back there. You don't know if there's actually snakes.
Simple is about the only way I can describe this one. You plop the house down in the middle, you face it down the street to get a west-facing front wall, and you've got a killer sunset every night. A little half-moon driveway tied to the parking on the side of the house, and it would be an easy build to do. The seasonal creek out back the kids explored for over an hour, and it's honestly the exact reason why I want a place out here. Letting them explore and be kids is something that I look forward to more than anything out here. You could configure this thing in a few different ways if you didn't care about where the sun sets, but stacked against lot number 1, 2, and 3, this is by far the easiest to work with. Let me explain the difference really quick on community water and sewer versus having your own private, such as a well or a septic. If I have a well on my property and that well ends up going dry, or the well pump dies, I have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to fix that. Whereas if you're tied to community water, it's their problem, not yours. If I'm tied to a community sewer system and they have problems in the street, they're gonna take care of it. Whereas if I have issues with my septic tank, it's on me. So not only just the cost of building, but the maintenance afterwards is cheaper on a lot like this. One of my other big concerns with this property is that it has a road running right into it, so I'd want to put up some sort of block wall out front to barricade it off, in the case someone forgot to stop and just ran through it. But you know the drill, let's go over it. We have a clean lot. It's already brushed, it's ready to go. You do have a good bit of space here. Being an acre, this lot has plenty to offer. No HOA or CC&Rs, so we're good to go there. The seasonal creek, the kids had a blast back there even though there's no water. All the utilities are ready to hook up right at the street, and this is a very affordable option for what I'm getting. But the neighbors are close and it looks like they've got chicken coops up against both sides of the property. This could get annoying for Airbnb guests. The creek is about 2/3 of the way through the property. Unless we build a bridge, it's highly unlikely we're going to do much with that back section. And even though this lot is open, we do have a limited building site. We have one option, smack dab in the middle. That's where the house would go. So I'm curious which lot you would go with. There's a lot more variables that come into play when picking property, such as neighboring home values, access to amenities. With real estate, we also have to factor in the return on investment. So I want you guys to comment down below which lot is most appealing to you. Where would you want to build and why? I'm always curious to know what your guys' thought process is, and I think that there's plenty of options with the 4 lots that we've got here. But before I get into which lot I decided to go with, I want to tell you about one of our primary sponsors on this upcoming build.
DAP is one of our official sponsors on this next build, and they're going to help me make all this happen. All of the caulking that goes into our siding, setting our windows, our silicones, our subfloor up on the 2nd story, and more. Without DAP, I don't know how much of all this could happen. It's a name that we all know, and it's a name that I've trusted for the last 15 years in this industry. And it's a name you probably know and trust as well. This next build is going to be insane. One of the biggest that I've done, one of the most insane pitches that we've ever built on. And DAP is going to be there from start to finish, from bottom to top. DAP's responsible for all of it. But I just wanted to say thank you to DAP for sponsoring today's video and also sponsoring this build. By the end of it, you'll know where we're building at, what we're building, and more. It's 100 degrees out right now. The mom mobile here is overheating. Not really, it's just screaming loud. You guys ready? Okay. Now, while I wish I could pick all 4 of these properties, buy and develop all of them, build them into different things, rent some of them out, sell the others, I'm not in a position to, but I can buy one of them. And picking the right one was one of the hardest decisions I had to make. So the property that we ended up settling on looks a little something like this.
After walking this lot with the girls and hearing them explain everything that they wanted to do, we decided to buy the 3-acre lot that had multiple building sites and a ton of rock formations. Gave us the most for our money, and it allows us to expand this property as we go. After some heavy clearing, we'll have a driveway access up to the top here, which will be home to an A-frame cabin that pushes the envelope in every way imaginable. And once we clear out these trees, your view will be miles and miles of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. It'll truly be one of a kind. We just got these renderings back from our architect. We've got a huge window wall facing the south, with a 20 and 12 pitch A-frame home standing over 30 feet tall. It'll be quite the project, and I hope we have the resources to get through it. So keep learning, keep building, never stop pushing the boundaries, and I'll see you in the next one.